Well, this is where I did most of the work after the initial inspiration, which was aboard the Belem. But after the trip I came back and settled here, my little prison, and then I set to work on the Belem music, which together with Jean-Christophe I had conceived in symphonic terms, which is very exciting for me and very unusual for a composer to be allowed that kind of freedom to explore the whole of the music in relationship to a film rather than just use themes, which is often my brief. This is the main theme, which was in the fourth movement of the Belem. I think that this is the most representative of the ship, the Belem, for me. I think it's beautiful. I don't know what other people think, but there you are. Well, it started with my arrival at Belem, and we spent a week there before we actually left, if you remember. But during that time there were many, many experiences that gave colour to the writing of the Belem. The marketplaces, the cafes, the meeting places, seeing the Belem at rest, lying there gracefully. I just thought it's just a beautiful, beautiful creature. What a magnificent ship. And that was with no rigging, no sails up or anything, just lying there, awaiting the provisioning. I was just dying to get aboard. Film is something that is brought to one through the eyes of another and through the eyes of the camera, and you see what the camera is prepared to give you or what it's been able to capture. But when you're on location, you see the things that one wasn't able to capture. First of all, it was getting aboard for the first time and knowing that I was going to be living there for at least a week. And then the send-off with the Navy band playing Brazil as we departed, looking at all the poverty and the people that we'd been mixing with and had become friendly with, and now we were leaving them. The waiting outside the port of Belem while we were joined by the police launch that escorted us all the way to Macapa to protect us from pirates. Absolutely everything was a point of inspiration. Well, the ship was the main character. The ship was the hero, the heroine, everything. It was a surprise, but it was a very, very pleasant surprise. There was no letdown at all. I saw things happening with my music that I didn't imagine would happen. I saw slow pieces used where I thought fast pieces would be used. I saw fast pieces used where I thought slow pieces would be used. It all worked, and it was all because the director had a conception of what he wanted. It was a very, very pleasant surprise, I can assure you. It's not your music you're looking for in a film, it's what the film requires of your music. I think that's the main difference between a classical non-film music composer and a film music composer. My relationship with the ocean, when I started writing music, I met Jacques Cousteau, and I was invited to write music for his films, and then my serious relationship with the sea and the ocean started through the eyes of Cousteau and his team. It's a thrill to hear music played live, but before you can write it, you have to hear it. So I get very few surprises from hearing it played, even though it's a 100-piece orchestra. They are playing what I expect it to sound like. It's important for me to work with live musicians, because I think that live musicians bring something to music that machines can't.
John is one of the select few composers who has an enviable gift of melody. He has a great dramatic sense, and his music is wonderfully visual and is great at depicting atmosphere, location and exoticism.
It's harmonically interesting, and it is always very colourful, and I think it's always very emotional too.
How can you expect an audience really to react to a box that is playing music? An audience reacts to human beings. It has sympathy with human beings. I think that the other kind of music is music that communicates in a different way, but it's not in a human way. I hate intellectualism anyway. The Belem, by the way, is a beautiful ship. You know, it was built in England. And
You keep that.